Most business owners are really good at looking at the future and making plans for their business. But unfortunately, not every business owner plans as well for what happens to their business when they pass away. Hi, Nancy Beauvert here with Agape and NEXsteps. Today I wanted to address a specific niche in our society with estate planning, and that has to do with business owners and what happens to their businesses when they're doing their estate planning and eventually when they do pass away. This is something that a lot of business owners kind of just take for granted. They just assume that their kids will take over or it will go to their spouse, or maybe they think that it just does go into their will. Now, in Canada, it is legal for people to leave their business to a successor or an heir in their will. But a traditional will doesn't necessarily deal appropriately with the different issues that come up for people who are business owners. Depending on the complexity of the business, depending on the business structure, they can be very complex. There's often shareholder agreements, there's corporate debts, there's clients to consider. If it's a large business or even a relatively small business, there's payroll issues, there's managing the staff, there's managing the clients, there's invoicing, collecting. There's a lot of complexity behind that scene. And if you don't plan as a business owner for the proper allocation of your business assets when you do pass away, bad things can happen. If you assume that your executor is just going to handle everything, but the person that you have named as your executor doesn't have a head for business or doesn't understand your business, things can go sideways very quickly. There have been many instances when waiting for money to be released, businesses have failed. Thriving businesses. There have been many instances, unfortunately, where a proper estate plan, a proper succession plan for a business hasn't been created, and that has left the business without any sustainability. And unfortunately, client relations have suffered and they've gone away. People have not been paid. Companies have ended up going bankrupt. So there's a lot of things that you have to consider when you do have a business and you are creating your estate plan. I always suggest that you talk to the appropriate professional. If you have a business, you most likely already do have an accountant. That accountant can make sure that everything is flowing properly. You also probably have a corporate lawyer. If you're a smaller business and you don't, I suggest that you do get appropriate advice from both a lawyer and an accountant to make sure that you have structured your will or created a succession plan for your business that is legally sound, properly binding, and does allow for financial sustainability of the business. If you are leaving your family in charge of it, if things aren't planned properly, you're not going to have any benefit for your family at the end of the day. They're going to end up floundering, the business could end up failing, and your legacy will be destroyed. On the other hand, if you do have a proper succession plan in place, the business could continue to thrive without you, your family can benefit, and your legacy will live on. These are complex estate questions. I'm a certified executor advisor. I am not an accountant and I'm not a lawyer. I can help guide you in the correct direction, and I can make recommendations to appropriate professionals to make sure that your planning is intact. There's also a lot to be said to not wait until you think that you might pass away or you're doing your estate plan. Most business owners, when they're structuring their business, will create buy-sell agreements with their partners, will create a succession plan. Again, depending on how large or small your business is, depends on the complexity of those issues. But please don't wait and don't ignore that. A lot of times when people are doing their estate planning, they think of the personal side of that. But a lot of people that I've come across have not thought about what they're going to do with their business when they do pass away, or how it will pass on to their partner or their child or their spouse. So I'm going to leave that with you. Please hop over to the website. I've got a more detailed article over there that can give you a little bit more guidance in this area. But above all, please make sure that you are getting proper advice in this area. It can be really tricky, and I wouldn't want you left in the lurch. Thanks very much for joining me for this. I look forward to sharing more with you next week. Bye for now.